right, folks, welcome into It's the Law. Attorney Jay Davis here from James W. Davis and Associates for our It's the Law segment, our legal analyst. We're talking DUI checkpoints, roadblocks tonight, Jay. You find them in a lot of college towns in Georgia. I saw them in Milledgeville quite often. Is it legal in every state across the United States for police to conduct checkpoints?
It's not considered legal in every state. Many states say that either the Constitution of the United States prohibits it by the unreasonable search and seizure clause, or their own state document does itself. So many states have interpreted it differently. Georgia both concedes that, and the federal courts have said that it doesn't. The federal Constitution does not preclude the ability to do roadblocks, and Georgia Constitution either.
There's a really significant constitutional debate to be had here on whether it does go against the Fourth Amendment, and like you said, the federal courts have said the states, if they want to do them, they could do them, if it's for public safety. But constitutional scholars, some of them will tell you, that sure sounds like an unreasonable search and seizure.
You know, a lot of the Constitution, and I used to say this all the time on the longer versions of It's the Law, but our Constitution is getting eroded in a lot of different ways. But in this particular case, most issues come down to the weight. One thing against the other. So you have some interest of the state, which in this case is going to be to ensure safety on the roads, versus the constitutional right. So constitutional rights are not absolute. So that's what the courts are going to weigh out. And so far, they've come down to say that the interest of the state to have the safety on the roads, it's not unreasonable to have checkpoints at which they can verify that. But there are a lot of safeguards that keep it from being arbitrary. You can't do it right outside a bar where you're watching people leave. You can't do these little planted places. You can't do it where you watch. Used to people would say, we're going to get every third car. You can't do that anymore. That's been ruled unconstitutional. If they're going to have a block, they have to block every car, check every car, and they're limited to what they can do. They can always ask you anything they want to and get you out of your car and do a lot of things, but you're not required to cooperate in all those things. You're required to show your identification and possibly your insurance and the normal things of that nature.
You touched on it there, but last thing, are those the types of questions you would ask if somebody that was caught in a DUI checkpoint came to you and asked for your defense? Are those the questions that you
Well, when we do DUI defense, we start from a premise. A lot of people say, well, you know, I was drinking and that's it. They don't know how much, they don't know what the level was, but they know they were drinking, they feel like it's just out of their hands, but it's not. We start with the beginning. Was it a reasonable stop? Was it a legal stop? If somebody was stopped just driving down the road and the police said something, do they have swerving the lane? Is there some reason for that stop initially? And then once that stop was had, did the police stay within what they had the authority to do in order to continue that stop? That's the second thing. And then was there a point where they had probable cause to arrest? And at that point, did the person submit to the breathalyzer? And was the breathalyzer machine correctly analyzed and certified? And was the person initiating that machine certified to do so? So we check all those points all the way through, and then we look at what the evidence, if all that evidence is going to be admissible, we look at what that shows. And then we find the defense. And there's a lot of cost to a DUI besides the attorney fees. So a lot of times we say, look, spend the money on us. We got a good shot. We got a good shot at doing something with it.
All right, well, there's our legal analyst, Jay Davis. If there's a question you want answered or a topic for Jay to discuss, we're happy to do that. Just send us an email to itsthelaw@41nbc.com. Thanks, Jay.
Thanks.